Hey, Craig Cottle from Nature Reliance School, guest instructor with dansdepot.com. One of the things we've done with the Dan's Depot Survival Kit is make sure it's something that you can practice with and something that will last a long time. Because if you don't practice these skills, you're not going to be ready when the time comes. What we want to do is show you some of the kits that are parts and pieces of the kits that are out there that you find from other folks, other what we might call competitors, but they're not even in the ballpark. But what I want to do is show you why this is such a useless kit and why you're wasting your money on a kit such as this. And again, we're not going to name anybody by name on whose kit this belongs to. We're just going to show you some of the items that are pretty common in a range of kits that are on the internet. You can find these in a number of places, but they're for the most part useless. But again, we're not going to be so mean-spirited that we're going to name who this came from. The first part of this kit that I want to point out is the pack itself. As soon as I got this thing, I opened it up and I broke one of the zippers on it. That's one of the reasons I show you when I show Dan's kit. I toss it around, throw it around, because I want you to see that that thing is durable. This kit is, or this particular pack has one seam of sewing on every aspect of it, so you're not going to be able to weight it down very well at all. First aid kit comes in this particular survival kit. It has a booklet on how to use first aid. That'd be a good fire starter. It's got a couple batteries that are for another item of the kit, the radio. These batteries are dead. The gauze in this thing is maybe a ½ inch wide. That's going to be okay. I'm not saying you can't use these things, but there's just better choices out there. And you got some Band-Aids, which in a survival situation is just simply not going to last. And you got one piece of gauze. I like this gauze. This is good gauze. And you got some Breathe Right strips. For body heat, what you have is I'm presuming they've got this tarp here to set up a shelter. It's got some instructions on how to set a tube tent setup, which is the worst setup to maintain body warmth. You've also got a book of waterproof matches, which do light, but what I did with them, another set that I had is I put these out in the rain and let them get wet, and they are not waterproof. As soon as they get wet, they're useless. And then you have a emergency survival pouch, one of these survival blankets. This is pretty good. I like these. These are okay. If this is your only source for body heat, these things do not last though. I mean, this is maybe going to last you one night. It's going to rip, and they rip. I've used these. I've tried to stay out on these before. They rip real easy. For water, they've got some emergency drinking water packets, which, you know, is water, but this is going to run out quick. This is enough water for one person, basically for a day. So if you have anybody else with you, you're going to be out of water. And that's enough water to stay healthy. I mean, that will be better than no water at all, right? You have a multifunction heating pad, one of these hand warmer types. These don't last. I think this one lasts up to 24 hours. But if you ever use these, they don't really last for 24 hours. They do have glow sticks in them. I'm kind of like these glow sticks. Not for regular use. Again, this is a one and done item. So you're going to light this up or get this going, and it's going to be out in just a few hours. It is good if you know that people are looking for you and you can see that they're looking for you to use as a signaling device. It's got a deck of playing cards, which, hey, is not too bad of an idea to pass the time away if you're in a survival situation. But this, again, is just dead weight that is not helpful in a need that you have. It just helps satisfy a want. As far as tools, one of the tools it has in it is one of these incredibly cheap Swiss Army knives. I mean, this is not a Swiss Army knife. It's a knockoff of a Swiss Army knife. So if you know anything about these, they don't last very long. And just when you need it, it's going to break. It also has this radio that I mentioned earlier. Again, another thing to pass the time with, but it needs batteries, and the batteries that came with the kit are dead. So if you've stowed this away in your trunk, or you put it in your car, or you actually need it, it's not going to be there when you need it. It's got 50 foot of nylon rope, whereas we have 100 foot of paracord in our pack. This, you know, I'm not saying this is not going to work, but it's just not real satisfactorily going to work. I mean, it's hard to keep this tied in a knot. I don't know you've seen some of the uses that we've done for paracord, and you can use this similarly, but it's just not going to be as strong and it's not going to last as long. Also has some C rations in it. I'm a big fan of C rations. This is a good item to have in the kit. You got a lot of nutrients and a lot of calories here in a small package, so this is one item that I do like in this kit. You got your toothpaste and you got some antiseptic wipes. Get a little bar of soap to help clean, you know, I get that. I'd much rather have the iodine that's in our kit though. And you have a dynamo flashlight, which, taken out of the package, doesn't work. And you've got headphones for the radio, which again, I'd make a survival trap out of that. But as far as headphone, that's just another piece that's dead weight that you've paid for in this kit that, in my opinion, is not there for what it's designed to be. You got a good pair of gloves. Hey, I don't know that this is not a bad idea. We don't have these in our kit yet, but I mean, you can make do without them, but this would be helpful. But again, this is heavy weight added up with other stuff that's kind of not needed when you're carrying around this kit. Another item that they have in here is a debris mask, so that you can put this on to funnel out anything that you don't need to be breathing. But again, that's a one-use item. I mean, I guess you could use this as a filter. It would work well for that. But again, that's what we have the bandana for in our kit for Dan's Depot. The other thing I want to point out with this kit and all its contents is basically everything in here except the radio that has batteries that will not work is a one and done item. There's nothing in this kit that you can utilize over and over and over again and go out and work hard with and get good at your skills, including the knife. I mean, I've had those knives, I broke those knives when I was a kid. I mean, by the dozen. Now, I spent a lot of time outdoors, but those cheap knives such as that are useless. So even that is I would consider a one and done item. It's not going to be there when you need it. Again, I want to emphasize that from a advanced survival person's perspective, there's a lot of useful stuff in this kit because I've practiced with this stuff and I know how to use it a lot. But for a beginner, you buy a kit like this thinking that you're going to be able to depend upon this kit when you need it, and you're not, because this stuff is a lot of garbage. I mean, again, something like the earphones, yeah, I mean, you could use them as infos. I don't know why you'd want to. Somebody like me, I'm going to use this to make a trap, to tie gear up with, to help tie down anything I might need to be tied down. But again, that's why we have stuff like paracord in our kit. So there you go. A whole lot of stuff here that what I would consider advanced survival person could make use of and make it work. But for somebody that's a beginner, you're going to be in a world of hurt. So again, I'm not naming anybody's name. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I just want you to know what kind of stuff is out there. This kit right here is just a little over $100, I believe. Pretty sure it's just a little over $100, and it's just not useful. So until next time, I hope to see you on or off the trail.